hit record here. Okay, I'm recording. Yeah, we can.
He's recording. We don't even have shit for this. This
is all off the cuff.
This is all off the cuff. So I watched the second episode of Winter Soldier and Falcon, or vice versa.
Falcon
Either
and the
way.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than the second episode.
Than the first one, you mean?
Yeah, I liked the second one a lot more than the first episode, is what I was going to say.
Yeah. I do feel like the first one was kind of like building the characters. They weren't even together. It's just sort of like, hey, this is this character, this is this character. Get to know them. And then they kind of show off John Walker at the end, and they're like, this is the drama of the show.
I don't even think I think that's just going to be a second of drama. Like it's going to cause a little bit of drama, but in the end it's not going to matter because it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean,
yeah.
It's sort of interesting. Like, how do you feel about John Walker?
The new
Cap.
I fucking love him. Right? So
Okay.
the way I think about it, the way I see Cap is probably how like the people in this universe see Cap. He's like Uncle Sam. He's like Uncle Sam, right? And if Uncle Sam died and people are like, oh man, I'm really bummed and America sucks because there's no captain anymore, fucking replaced him. And like he's just trying to help, you know? This John Walker guy, is that his name or Joe? John.
I think
it's
John Walker, yeah.
He's like they had to show a little bit of backstory. He's in a locker room. He was like a football person. He was just a jock, and then he like saved a whole bunch of people. Like he has the fucking credentials that Captain America would have. He has the best friend who's always got his back. He's got
he's got his own Bucky. Yeah,
he's got his and it's just like dude, okay, cool. I really enjoy this. And then they gave him the shield, and I'm like, that guy deserves the fucking shield because he's has the credentials. Like and then you see him use it in the episode, and he's throwing it around and catching it and shit. And like, what is that? I didn't realize that was possible, you know? And it's just kind of crazy to me that
I
how they introduced somebody new, and they're like, this is Captain America, and it's like, wow, they're doing it. They're remaking what they already made. You know, it's like taking the next generation of X-Men. Like, we're not going to have Wolverine, but we're going to have somebody like Wolverine. He's going to be the Wolverine for this generation of viewers, you know? We're not going to have huge Act Man. We're going to have the chick who played X-23 in Logan be the new Wolverine, you know?
Right.
It's really cool the way that they did that, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to make him so sympathetic, because he is very sympathetic, and you're like, I get it. Like, I like him. And obviously, you know, I'm rooting for my boy Falcon. He's my guy. And I think the guy who becomes Captain America should be like, yeah, I shouldn't be Captain America, because
right.
Captain America. So I still think it ultimately it's going to Falcon. It's going to be him. But I do like that.
I don't think so.
And the way that they get there, I think, is going to be interesting. And because I think what they're going to do is they're going to tempt these guys with some super soldier serum. Like, that's going to happen in the future of this. And and I feel like John Walker's going to be like, all right, I'll do it. And Falcon's going to be like, no. And then I think that's going to jack up John Walker. And then he's going to, and he's going to be a sympathetic villain where it's like, I feel bad for him, but he's a bad guy now. So it is what it is.
That's an interesting theory on that.
Yeah, because ultimately, like, they're even having a hard time being like, I hate you. But it was interesting. We saw the little moment of John Walker be like, stay out of my fucking way, or whatever.
Right.
Which Captain America wouldn't do that, though. He wouldn't say that. You know what I mean? But, it's a new day.
Okay, so John Walker is the same way, is in the same position as Falcon, right? Because Captain America goes, here's a shield, and Falcon's like, dude, it belongs to you. Like,
Right.
there's a connection to it's your shield. I'm not gonna pick it up. And then so the Smithsonian gets it, and then the American government goes, well, we need somebody.
But did they because like there was a long period of time from World War II to like modern day where there was no Captain America.
Right.
So like, do they need another Captain America? And that's where Falcon's head was at, was like, we don't need another Captain America. We had Captain America. There is no other Captain America. And that was his whole thing. But I'm sure if the government went to Falcon and was like, no, you are Captain America, he would have been like, okay, I'll do it for the American people. I think he would have.
I don't think so.
I think absolutely.
Think so. No, because he's like too busy now. He's too busy with his family. He's
not too busy. He's the Falcon, dude. He's out there fighting with Captain America. Captain America's out there, you know.
Right, but I think
they were there before Captain America even.
I think what the government is looking for is that PR person. Somebody to be not necessarily in the fight, which is kind of contradictory,
right? And I think that's
he does show up and fight, and it's like, oh shit. But I think they need somebody to, you know, shake hands and
right, but like
write autographs. And
I
stuff
think
like
that was
the
interesting sort of dynamic between like him and Falcon, where it's like he's out there shaking hands, kissing babies, or doing whatever. Well, Falcon was actually like, okay, this is what we have to do. We have to look into this. We have to figure it out. And like him and Bucky are working together to figure this shit out. Well, you know, like, and that's what Captain America would be more focused on than, you know what I mean?
Right.
And right, also
he's new to the job, dude. He's new to the job.
Yeah, for sure. But also I think it was interesting because we got another really kick-ass action set piece in this show where they were fighting on those trucks. And
on the trucks.
I liked that scene a lot. I thought it was really cool. But the whole time when John Walker showed up, I was like, I kind of want this to end because I want to see how they're going to interact afterwards. I kind of, you know, I was like, I want the tea, you know? Yeah.
But I think I want to jump into like their kind of reaction to the new Captain America.
They're bitter for sure.
They're such babies. It's just like, dude.
Well, they knew Cap. They knew Cap,
right?
They were like friends with Cap.
It's like, hey, man, it's like being mad at the guy who replaced your friend on the football team because your friend broke his leg. It's like, yeah, well, my friend should be up there, and it's like, well, he literally can't. He broke his leg. I'm the next dude. All right, just.
But I think
cool. You know.
I think
they're just so mean to him, and he's just trying. He's like, hey, we should come up with a plan with this, and they're like,
yeah, I think there's like, more. What? There's more going on than we know yet, obviously, because the fact that like new Cap knew the counselor and stuff, it's like, what's going on there? That was kind of weird, but
I think it was just because like he heard and he's like, I need to get on their good side.
Well, there's a moment where like he's at the police precinct and the counselor's there and they see each other and they're like, oh yeah, we know each other. And they're like, how do you know each other? Like, it doesn't matter. And then they just sort of move on from that. And it's like, that seems a little weird.
There could be some I missed that then. There could be some underlying thing about that.
But also, what was I going to say? Shit, I lost it.
I'm sorry.
Right. The reason, I think they give a good reason. Like, they're obviously overreacting. It's not his fault that he's Captain America.
Right.
It's more the government for like doing it. But
right.
They kind of explain why they're being such a jerk, at least for Bucky, when he's like, you know, if Cap was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, right. I feel that, you know, like I get that, you know.
But I feel like that has nothing to do with the new Cap. Like Bucky,
It does.
There's no reason Bucky should even feel the slightest bit of
But like the new Cap, I mean, if
anger to this new guy.
If the old if the old Cap says this should be Captain America, this man right here, you should probably, put that into consideration.
Right. But then that guy goes, "Nah, I'm not gonna be that."
I don't even think it's that though. I really think it's more like I'm not worthy, like I don't feel like I'm worthy. And I feel like Captain America would say that. Like I'm not worthy of this mantle. And we saw the original Cap do that with the Mjolnir, where he's like, I won't lift that right now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one of the coolest scenes.
Yeah,
in Ultron, I think
Age
it was.
of Ultron, yeah. And
yeah,
it's like,
sweet.
I don't need to lift this right now. There's no reason for me to do that. And I feel like that's where Falcon is. He's like, there's no reason for me to be Captain America. We had Captain America, and like that's his thought process. And then the government's like, no, we need one, and
we need
it's
a
kind of
boy. We need Uncle Sam so that everybody can join the army,
and that shouldn't be the reason that Captain America exists.
Right. No, I agree, but also they shouldn't be so fucking mad at this new guy,
right? But
because
emotions,
it's not his fault. It's
emotions. Emotions are emotions.
This job. It's the most important job in America, and he's like, yeah, like what an opportunity! Like what a fucking job opportunity that like I'd take it, and then he's just trying to be helpful and friendly, and they just throw him off. But also, I wanted to get into, not to make this too long, but I wanted to get into.
No, I've got more to say too.
Bucky and Falcon's relationship when they like go into the therapist session together. I didn't think that their relationship was earned at that point.
I didn't think they were fighting that much. They just seem like friends. So like they seem pretty close. I don't know.
Well, they seem
I kind of agree with you.
But then that's just like, well, I don't like him, and it's like, whoa, where'd this come from? Like you literally just were on a plane.
They're in a counseling
session.
I get it, because he's fucking pissed at him for not taking the shield.
Well, it's Bucky, but like the other guy, what is Falcon's name?
Sam,
that's what it is.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. Yeah, that's right. Uncle Sam. Shit. Yeah, he's gonna fucking be Captain America.
Of course, he's Uncle Sam. But there was that moment, not to derail you what you were talking about, but there is that moment where on the semis where the shield gets thrown and Bucky like sort of grabs it like instinctually and is kind of like and then just like hands it back to him. You remember that?
I think that's the moment where he's like, I'm gonna steal this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna use this shit.
I'm gonna take it for myself, because if Falcon's not gonna use it, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah. And I think ultimately, I think they're both gonna end up using it.
Right.
In the comics, both of them become Captain America at one point or another. But I think in this universe, it doesn't make much sense to make Bucky the Captain America. I mean, he literally was an assassin for like hundreds of years. So like, just as an optics sort of thing, it doesn't make much sense to have him be the new Captain America.
But in the overall arc of everything of the Marvel Universe, I think it would be so interesting if they kept the new guy as Captain America, and like the people who didn't watch the show but then go see the next movie, there's just a new fucking Cap.
Oh, they're definitely going to do something with that guy.
Hold on, what? Yeah, that's not Chris Hemsworth.
Evans,
yeah. One of the Chris's.
They're definitely going to do something with that guy. One last point I want to bring up is when they went to meet Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah.
And this show is handling this topic so masterfully, I think. The topic of racism.
It's so in your face, though.
I think it's pretty. It's there, but also pretty subtle. It's subtle enough that you're like, I don't feel like this is them just pushing an agenda. I feel like this just kind of fits with the story. So first of all, we'll talk about the point where the cops like show up. The cops stopping makes sense because it's two grown men arguing in the street, and that makes sense. What was interesting was they immediately focused on Falcon, and it's like that's interesting,
right?
And right, that is accurate to how it would go down.
Right, I
100%.
I am not the person to say any of this with any sort of.
You could say whatever you want, dog.
With any sort of
authority
or concrete. This is the way it should be, but like I felt like them going to Isaiah's house and being like, how come I've never heard of this guy ever, as like, that's pretty obviously it's because he's black, right? But then they have to like, I could break it down a little more. Like the next scene they hammer it home with the cops pulling him up, and it's like, oh, I get it, all right? Like,
but I feel like that's how it would go down too, though.
Yeah,
especially in that neighborhood, there would probably be a lot of cops around. Just kind of how it is. But Isaiah Bradley, if you don't know, in the comics, and actually I think the show is going to end with both of them bringing the shield to Isaiah Bradley. I think that's how the show is going to end, and they're going to be like, you are Captain America. And because in the comic books, for people who don't know, Isaiah Bradley was actually Captain America before Captain America was Captain America, because the super soldier program, before they tested it on our guy, right, Steve Rogers,
yeah,
before they tested on him, they decided to do a bunch of tests on black people,
right,
which makes sense historically if you go back to like the syphilis tests and stuff like that, where literally they were poisoning people of color back then, and it makes a lot of sense. And Isaiah Bradley was that guy, and I believe he got the serum before Chris Evans, and I think the reason he's still alive is because he got the serum. He was around in World War II. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And they say that Bucky fought him in Vietnam or whatever. Was it
something
Vietnam?
Like that. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's still out there fighting, but like people just don't talk about him.
It's what's weird to me is like Cap had to be frozen in order to make it all the way to the future
as a young man. Because he goes back to the 40s at that age, and he's still looking like Joe Biden, in Endgame.
He really does look like Joe Biden, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. So, yeah, I think he was Captain America before Captain America, and I feel like the show is going to end with them bringing him the shield and like, this is yours.
For the sake of the future of Marvel, and to just keep that character going, I feel like that would be the wrong move to do, even though it's the racially right thing to do.
But I think they're going to do that, and then he's going to be like, thank you, but it's actually yours. And then he gives it to Falcon. You know what I mean? Like, Falcon's going to end up with this goddamn shield.
I see.
Do you think, and not to make this go too long, but there's so much to say. Do you think Falcon's going to end up with some super soldier serum in him?
No.
No?
No.
I think he might.
I don't think so. I think so.
I don't think it'll be his choice, but I think he might.
I could see that, but I don't think so. I don't think that's where the show's going to be.
Yeah. I just know in the comics he does end up with some super soldier serum in him, but we'll see. The MCU very loosely follows the comics, and I appreciate that. They can do whatever they want, and I like that.
Yeah,
they follow it closely. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
It's like their comic book, because every artist has their rendition of their version of Batman, their version of Spider-Man. It's just like, this is in my version, Joker's Batman. It's like it's the same story ultimately, but it's different, and you don't know what's going to happen because it's somebody completely different riding through the same vessel.
Yeah, it's like they look at it as a reference and they respect the source material to such a high degree, unlike, you know, a movie like Catwoman where they don't even look at the source material and they come up with their own fucking thing,
right?
Which could be cool in its own right, but it wasn't in that case. But you know, like Nolan's Batman very loosely follows anything, you know,
anything, yeah.
But it's still one of the greatest movies ever. So, you know,
yeah.
Anyway,
you just luck out sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Or you're just Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that's it.
Yeah, that was what we thought. We'll be back next week. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm saying we'll be back next week with episode 3. And we'll talk about it because there's a lot to talk about in this show. They go on a bunch of different tangents in this show.
Yeah, I'm excited. And the fact that it's like 50 minutes each episode, like they can do a lot in the next like 4 episodes, you know? So
yeah,
I'm excited to see where it goes. Also, Zemo, we didn't even mention that. We're gonna see Zemo next episode. That's cool.
Excited. I don't know who that is.
He was the bad guy in Civil War. He was the guy who was kind of like controlling Bucky for a long time, you know?
Oh, okay.
And that's why he's in prison. And then he's like, you really want to see him? He's like, well, yeah, I guess that's what we have to do. Yeah. So there you go. We'll see more next week.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.